Maybe he shouldn't have did that.
Oh, look at Eddie's head movement. This isn't a place we want to be.
Yeah, Eddie was changing levels there.
Yeah.
Moxley.
Oh, no!
Oh, my God.
Just can't Moxley.
2. Got him. 3.
What up, y'all? This your boy Ace here, and welcome to Afternoons Delight. Let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about this one. So, knuckle up, knuckle up, knuckle up. Eddie Kingston from Yonkers, New York, is in Long Island. He's in his hometown, home state of New York, on Long Island here. We had two homecomings. We had him and MJF, who came back home. Unfortunately, Chris Statlander didn't get a chance wasn't booked to fight, because she hasn't been around, I think, since Full Gear. She wasn't able to fight from her hometown. She's the other member that's on Long Island. She's been around some backstage segments and stuff like that, but she didn't get a chance to fight on this card. But we saw Eddie Kingston fighting, and the crowd was going ape shit for him. They were backing him and everything like that. But they were also kind of, they weren't really against Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley was his opponent for this Continental Championship. So the Continental Tournament comes to an end with this match, and these are the final two. And what I loved about this match, this is the one thing that I really loved that they did. They gave me a little bit of a sports element to it, and I love when they do that in pro wrestling. Pro wrestling is fake. The one thing that I love though is when they give you a sports element. You know what I mean? So they had Daniel Bryan on the commentary team for this match, and I thought Bryan Danielson. Oh my God, be getting these names mixed up, man. When they cover the WWE, Bryan Danielson, right? So he was doing commentary. He's still wearing the patch on his eye. I think he looked really cool with the braids too. I like his look with the cornrows he be rocking. But anyways, man, Bryan Danielson was doing commentary, and I really think he's got a future as a color commentator. He's got a future in any company. It doesn't even just have to be AEW. I wish he could do AEW with Excalibur in the future. Maybe replace Taz or something like that, or Nigel McGuinness. I absolutely think he can do color. This dude was so good, and like the way he was commentating, because he's in the Blackpool Combat Club, so he was like kind of talking about what Moxley needs to do in the match, going over like everything that's a strength and weakness for Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley, because Eddie Kingston's more of a striker, Moxley, a grappler, so he was gonna try to get him on the ground. And so they were playing that whole psychology throughout the match, and I loved it, because it really one of the things that's so pure about wrestling is when they go over certain styles. Sometimes they don't bring it up as often as they need to, the different styles that certain wrestlers have, because if this is a real fight, like you always hear this like in MMA, like strong style, all this other stuff, kickboxer, whatever background they had or whatever. You always hear, I would love to hear it a little bit more when it comes to pro wrestling, especially in these bigger matches, especially matches like this. And it was just great to see. And Eddie Kingston, I've already been revealed at Eddie Kingston. I think he's one of the greatest wrestlers to ever do it. I know his weight, it looks a little sloppy to people, but he's still one of the GOATs. Moxley's one of the GOATs. I mean, these two dudes are and they tore it down in this match. They tore it down. Like I said, the crowd was fully behind Eddie Kingston, wanting him to get the win. And so let's see how it went. Let me go over how the match went towards the end here. Let's see. Let's start right here. So Moxley applied the choke while Kingston was on his feet. Danielson called for Moxley to drop back. And see, that's what I was talking about. I love how Danielson was making a call on some things here. But Kingston fell forward into the ropes. Moxley gave the crowd double birds, which is, he was trying to play the opposition with with that New York crowd, and then approached Kingston, who hit him with another spinning back fist. Moxley stared at the referee and kicked out when Kingston went for the pin. Kingston put Moxley down with another Northern Lights bomb for a near fall. Both men got up and traded strikes. Kingston concentrated with another spinning back fist that dropped Moxley, and then Kingston covered Moxley and got the 3 count. And so that was all she wrote for Jon Moxley in about over 17 minutes, as Eddie Kingston beat him for the to win the first ever Continental Classic tournament in AEW, and he is now a Triple Crown champion. He becomes the first ever AEW Triple Crown champion, and the guy deserves it. Eddie Kingston's been there, I believe, since day one. I think he's been one of the not day. I don't know if he's been there day one. I think he came in 2020, so maybe that first year in AEW. Because I remember him doing a lot of shows during the pandemic when he first came. But Eddie Kingston, either way, he's put in about almost 4 years in the company. So he deserves to, he definitely deserves to become the first, and, he's got the ROH championship. He's got the New Japan Strong Openweight championship. So I like seeing Eddie with all this gold, man, because it legitimized. Oh my God, I was struggling to say this word. His foray in the ring, man. So good win for Eddie Kingston, man. It wasn't like Moxley needed this victory, man. I think Eddie Kingston did need it more as in front of his crowd. I think these two would definitely have a rematch at some point, though. But good match, man. This is a good match to actually watch. And like I said, I think Bryan Danielson got a future on commentary, man. I do. I think he's got a future, man. I this ain't like this the first time I ever heard him. Like he's been on commentary like all year. He's been doing very well, man. Just like a Chris Jericho on Rampage. So it's been pretty good. But go ahead and give this video a like, share, subscribe, y'all. Thank y'all for watching After News to Light.